On top of the battlements, a young woman sits like she's been waiting her whole life for something other people think they can arrange for her. She's the princess, and she's been treated like a pawn for as long as anyone can remember. But she's no paper doll. She's angry, sharp, and quietly lethal. And this movie makes sure you see exactly why. We open in a country that runs on old oaths and newer betrayals. The king, tired and political, has arranged everything. A marriage meant to cement alliances. A whole plan that puts the princess on display instead of letting her live. On the day she's meant to be handed off, the castle fills with pomp and officers in uniforms that look dustier than their morals. Courtiers whisper, soldiers posture, and there's a sense that what's supposed to be a celebration is actually a transaction. If you think she's going to smile through it, think again. She's been building quiet reserves of rage and skills in the shadow of that tower. When a band of mercenaries storms the castle, supposedly in the name of some foreign prince and the king's fragile political chessboard, the ceremony falls apart. It's messy, loud, and fast. Guards fall, torches flicker, and for a minute the princess watches her life script literally go up in flames. She could be frightened, but she chooses something better. Action. She slips away from the parade, sheds the trappings of royalty, and steps into the chaos with purpose. This is where the movie pivots from a tale of politics into a gory, kinetic revenge story. If you came for slow court intrigue, stay for the furious swordplay. The film tracks her transformation cleanly. At first, she's reactive, hiding, evading, learning who's a threat and who's an ally. But she's been paying attention. Small details about locks, patrol patterns, and the blades under noblemen's sleeves come back to her like old friends. She arms herself with whatever's at hand, a broken piece of wood, a discarded blade, a ladle if she needs to, and quickly the viewers realize she knows how to survive. That combination of improvisation and hidden skill makes her a surprisingly dangerous protagonist, and the fight scenes lean into that. They're not balletic fantasy duels. They're messy, believable scuffles where the princess uses guts and guile as much as steel. She encounters a few major figures along the way who either complicate or clarify her path. The king remains in the background as the architect of the situation. His decisions have shaped this mess. But the men on the ground are the ones who define her immediate enemy. Opportunistic soldiers looking to profit from chaos, a cold commander who sees her as a bargaining chip, and a princely suitor who thinks marriage is a fix-all. None of them understand that the princess is done being exchanged. The mercenary captain is a particularly nasty piece of work, brutal and calculating, the kind of antagonist who underestimates young women at his peril. There's also a reluctant ally or two, people who don't want bloodshed but are forced into it by necessity. Those fleeting partnerships add texture. The princess isn't entirely alone, but she doesn't need a cavalry to make her point. Chronologically, the movie keeps you moving from set piece to set piece. After she flees the immediate melee, the princess makes her way through secret passages and forgotten stairwells, running into rooms that reveal the kingdom's little tragedies. Servants sleeping under ruined banners, soldiers counting spoils, and courtiers choosing which side of history they'll save their necks on. As she moves, her confidence grows. A quick ambush here, a daring escape there, and soon a series of confrontations that feel like a mounting thunderstorm. The battles themselves are purpose-built, each one more personal than the last. You'll see the princess take down henchmen in tight corridors, defend herself in the rain of an open yard, and plan small traps that are as much psychological as they are physical. There's a real sense of momentum. She's not just surviving, she's pushing back. A turning point comes when she confronts one of the men responsible for her predicament in close quarters. Not a chief mastermind, but someone emblematic of the system that put her there. That scene strips away ceremony and leaves only the human cost. The princess, exhausted, looking at the face of a man who believed he was owed her. It's ugly, and the movie doesn't gild it. The princess doesn't become heroic by becoming perfect. She becomes formidable by refusing to be a victim. It's cathartic, obviously, and the film lets you feel that without moralizing. You're invited to stand with her, and most of the time you do. As she pushes deeper into the web of conspiracies, secrets about the castle and the kingdom surface, loyalties shift, and the people who look like enemies sometimes end up being the only ones with a sliver of integrity. There's a smaller arc about trust. Who can she rely on, and what will she sacrifice to get out alive? The princess makes choices that are hard and sometimes ruthless. She rejects simple redemption narratives. If you want a tidy moral, this film will give you grit instead. Humor sneaks in the margins. Not the witty banter of romantic comedies, but small, human moments that keep the princess from becoming a mythic figure. She rolls her eyes at pompous nobles, scoffs at a suitor's rehearsed compliments, and sometimes stops to do something practical, like change a torn shoe, that reminds you she's still very human. Those little beats matter because they make her victories feel earned rather than cinematic conveniences. The movie also leans into atmosphere. The set design is a character of its own. Cold stone corridors, rain-slick courtyards, and rooms that smell of smoke and history. The cinematography is intimate when it needs